Forgiveness, it isn't what you think it is. Unforgiveness feels justified. That is poison. These are 5 forgiveness myths. You ready? That's how much I hate you. You hate them so much you drink poison. Guess who dies? Who died? Hello, this is Dr. Dennis, and welcome to Honest Conversations, a platform where we do just that, talk honestly, candidly about success, about achievement, about relationships, about attitude, about faith, and indeed about life itself. And today's topic, hello, greetings from Australia here in Perth. I want to have a slightly different introduction to our podcast this week. In fact, it was recorded months back, but we happen to air it today, and it's on forgiveness. Forgiveness. Charlie Kirk. Now, a bunch of people know him. Many more people know of him. This young man assassinated or killed, murdered for his beliefs, his convictions. Again, wherever you stand, he had it coming. Yes, sometimes the positions we take will cost us our lives. Christians know that all too well. Now, but we all agree that did his wife have it coming? His kids had it coming too? Guess what she does, though? Erica Kirk, his wife, in front of millions of people says, You killed my husband, but I forgive you. Whew. What? Wait, you what? And that's shit. The video has been watched by over 200 million people. I forgive you. You shattered our lives, but I forgive you. How could she do that? Yes, she got this, the power of forgiveness and what it does. And that's what this podcast is about. And today's topic, it's going to be one of, I think I'm going to do a part 2, maybe part 3 over the next 3 episodes. Forgiveness, because it's so big. Forgiveness. Most of us, when we think about forgiveness, we have this, many of us who are Christianized will remember the Lord's Prayer. Forgive, because there's Catholics and whatever, universally about 3 billion, right, actually Christians around or who share the faith will remember this line, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. I remember being a kid and thinking, oh man, forgive our sins as we forgive. So what is forgiveness? So we have to forgive to be forgiven, and So, but I want to tell you a couple of stories on this. It's a very big subject. I'm going back to Philip, Dr. Philip Miles, my spiritual papa. He's Philip and Lori. When we met him, we'd just heard this tragic story. Philip and Lori, his wife, perfect couple, godly, amazing, loving, stable. Their home filled with love, and they ran a Bible study in Hollywood. Which reached Hollywood elites. Their Bible study would be attended by Smokey Robinson and some of the greats, Natalie Cole and the Staple Sisters and some of the older talents, but then tragedy strikes. Lori is killed in a random drive-by shooting. A city mourns her death. The media pounces upon the story, and Philip, being a Christian, a public figure at that time, because he managed some stars in Hollywood, he makes a public announcement. As a Christian, he said, my faith teaches me to forgive my enemies. I forgive my wife's killer. So the press goes wild. Is this man for real? He's forgiven. Wait, is he in denial? But the story doesn't end there. Months later, Philip gets a call from prison. Of course, the story is big. For months, they're looking for him. They find the guy, imprison him, And Philip thinks, okay, yeah, I've forgiven. It's cool. Done. He doesn't want to think about it. Of course, life is forever changed for him. So he gets a call from prison. Sir, it's a man. Somebody wants to talk to you. He says, what? From prison? What? County jail? Yeah, yeah. Prison. The man who killed your wife has found God and wants to ask for your forgiveness. That was the voice of the other side, the other end of the call. So Philip describes it this way. I broke into a sweat. My wife was an incredible mother. Her death crushed me, nearly destroyed our family nucleus. I was trying to raise our children alone. And now this man wants forgiveness? Everything hurts inside me, he said. And then he said something profound. He said, I know I don't deserve mercy, because he wrestles with it. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to go. Because his resolve, public resolution, public declaration is tested brutally. There, you said you forgive him to the press. He's on the line now. Will you say it to his face? It seemed to be much, much harder because it brought back all the pain. So Philip says something happened inside, and he can all describe it like this. He said, I told him, I know I don't deserve mercy for everything I've done myself. So what right do I have to withhold it from you? This is what I told the man. And Philip said, I forgave him. Hard as it was, or at first was, I forgive him. So what? How come? So the press, of course, again, like, whoa. And what is that? Forgiveness. It isn't what you think it is. Let's because most of you, when you hear the story, you think, wait, but the guy didn't. The guy didn't. Well, here, forgiveness. These are 5 forgiveness myths. You ready? Number 1, forgiveness is a feeling. No, it's not. Because many are feeling like, I don't feel like forgiving him. No, I don't feel it. And when I feel it, I will. No. Forgiveness is not an emotion. It's a decision. Number 2, forgiveness is tolerance. It's for tolerance. If I don't want him to think that I'm okay with what he did. No. Forgiveness is not tolerance. Just because you forgive him doesn't mean you tolerate what they did. Forgiveness, it doesn't mean agreement. Forgiveness, the decision. Again, it's a decision. Number 3.
Hey there, Josh here. I'm a producer of Honest Conversations. Did you know that there's a group out there with really cool perks like early access to future episodes, the ability to suggest topics for future Honest Conversations, and monthly live Q&As with Dr. Dennis about the things that we talk about here on this podcast? If any of those perks and benefits pique your interest, then head on over to the link that is on your screen or in the description box below and find out how you can be a part of this group. Anyway, that's it for me. Now back to the episode.
Number 3, forgiveness is enabling. If I forgive them, they're going to keep hurting me. No. It doesn't mean that. Forgiveness doesn't grant permission to continue behavior. It just sets you free, as we're going to see. Number 4, forgiveness is forgetting. I can't forget what I did. I can't forget what happened. I can't. No, friends. Now this is big for some of you because it's a whole cliche. Forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. Sorry, guys. Humans, only God forgets. It is virtually impossible to forget the woman who destroys your family by taking your husband away. I forget that. I forgot. He drove off the road. He was drunk, run over your only child. Can you ever forget that? No, but you can forgive, because forgiveness does not require you to release, to forget. It requires you to release. Myth number 5, forgiveness is reconciliation, but we can't get back to how things were. So I'm not forgiving. No, that's not forgiveness. Is not returning. It's not returning to where you were. Reconciliation is a two-way street. Forgiveness is the road to freedom, not reconciliation. I was teaching like this in Malaysia. This woman comes and says, I heard what you said. I heard what you say. Just can you please pray for me? I'm just so tired of carrying this. It's been 50 years, she said. Okay, 50 years. I'm thinking, well, 50 years. I'm thinking, what happened? What happened 50 years ago? And well, so she said, well, I can't forgive him. I still can't forgive him. He slept with my best friend. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking, wow, she's 70 years old. She must be 70 years old because, Asian ladies they age really well, generally. So I couldn't quite tell. She looked 50, but she's saying it's 50 years ago, so she must not be 50. Turns out she was over 70 years old. And she's talking about how she can't forgive her for sleeping with her, no, him for sleeping with his best friend. So I'm thinking, man, who's this guy? Come on, what being mean to a 50-year-old woman, 50-year-old, 70-year-old woman, being doing this to a 70-year-old woman. So I kind of asked, hey, man, how long was it again? I'm thinking she's going to tell me last year. She said it was 50 years ago. Something, 50 years ago? Yeah, she was 20 years old. This happened 20 years ago. I said, hey, ma'am. Yeah, and she said, I will not. But when you were speaking today, I feel like maybe I'm ready to. I almost wept. I was like, oh, it's 50 years. The guy's probably gone, dead 20 years ago, whatever, but wow. So I asked her, ma'am, it's time to give yourself a gift called forgiveness. Somebody's thinking, well, Dr. Dennis, but you don't know what they did to me. Um, I don't know what they did to you. I was raped. I was raped by a black man. So I hate them. Um, mm, I was bullied by white kids. They bullied me. They they put acid on my face. There's this man. I remember this man in Nashville who was singing in Nashville, Tennessee. This is a real life example. We were singing, and this man came. The song was "Whether Black, Whether White, We're One." We're singing a song about with forgiveness, really about forgiveness, about starting afresh. And this man comes. He's weeping, and he says, guys, I I just could not forgive. I couldn't forgive for all these years, and it was decades. So that we had written this song in Africa. The song said, "Whether black, whether white, we're one." We're song united and united. So a song called "United." So we're singing this song, written it in Africa. But in fact, when we wrote it, the church we sang it, it said, "Why did you write that song? That song is it's a song about blacks, white. There's only black people here. There's no white." I said, we don't know, but we just sang the song. And it wasn't 17 years later, we're singing the song. And the man says, that song was written for me. Boom, this blue. I was like, whoa, my tears. I'm like, the song we wrote in Kampala, Uganda is for you. And he insisted the song was for him. Said, because when I was young, a bunch of of black kids came and they tore up my face, and I've never been the same. I felt shame and anger, but when you sang that song, I just forgave. I forgave. I was like, whoa. So forgiven. The kids are probably dead, gone, whatever. Maybe now married. Maybe they're probably regretful, but he didn't need to wait for acknowledgement or regret or anything, but he just let it go. My son was killed by an illegal immigrant. You may think. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Unforgiveness feels justified. But it's poison. It's like drinking a toxic brew and waiting for them to die. It's like saying, you know what? I hate you. I hate you so much. This is toxic. You know what? This is how much I hate you. This is how much I hate you. I'm going to show you how much I hate you. That's how much I hate you. You hate them so much you drink poison. Guess who dies? You die. You die. Forgiveness is a gift to give you, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about them, it's about you. It's not about fairness, it's about freedom. Who are you carrying? Today, who do you need to release? Remember again, forgiveness is not forgetting, it is remembering without rage. Come on. It's healing so the wound doesn't become a permanent scar. It is changing the way you remember the injury. Ooh. That is forgiveness, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters. And this is a big one. It's a big one. It's a big one all over. There's entire tribes, for us in Africa, we have entire tribes that have held grudges for things that were performed to them by kings 3 generations ago. It's in offense that's inherited, offense that's passed down generationally. We hate them. We don't do this. We don't. No. It's time for you to give yourself that freedom, that freedom. And I want you to just. I'm going to stop here because I want you to think on this. This is not just a podcast you can listen to. This episode is not just for you to get information. It's for you to actually do something. Because I know for a fact that millions of people are listening, and millions of people are they can relate to this injury. You don't understand. They just entitled. Sometimes we don't know how to live without the offense. We've coexisted so long with the injury that we're tied to it. We're the injury and us. We are one. So it feels like I can't do that. Yeah. It's time to unpack this pathway to forgiveness. True freedom from past injury. That's what I'm praying for you. True freedom from yesterday's hurts and wounds. It's time for you to give yourself a gift. Time to give yourself a gift to forgive. Would you do that right now? Let me pray for you, actually. Lord, I pray that you help my friends not look away anymore, Lord. Help my friends to confront this and to walk this journey and forgive as they stay with us over the next few weeks. I pray, please help them. In your matchless name, amen. Amen, amen, amen. So join me. Don't forget the next episode. You gotta. This one, I want you to, I'm asking you to just share it. And actually, let me go back to those questions. Ask your friends, your wife, your neighbor, your husband, who are you carrying? Who do you need to release? 2 questions. Who are you carrying? Therefore, which follows the next question. Who do you need to release? Remember, it's not about you, not about them anymore. It's you. You're carrying your mama who passed away. You're carrying your friend who injured you, who did harm to you. It's time to let them go. So share this with someone. Invite them to hang out with us over the next 3 episodes at least. And let's get this conversation going. Any questions, any thoughts, any feedback, do let us know. Leave me a message, a comment. And I am Dennis, Dr. Dennis. And we'll see you next week, next episode here on Honest Conversations. God richly bless you.
Forgiveness. Now, there's a topic I believe every single one of us can relate to. Here at Honest Conversations, the topics that we choose, we believe are not just meant to be something that we listen to, but instead something that spurs on and challenges us to have conversations in our real lives. And so this week's Honest Conversation starter is, who in your life do you need to forgive, and what has it cost you to hold on to it for this long? The part of the podcast that really got me was when Dr. Dennis was sharing about how unforgiveness is like drinking poison, hoping and thinking it would hurt the person who you're harboring this unforgiveness for. But instead, it's really you that you're hurting. And ultimately, forgiveness is a gift that you give to yourself, a gift of freedom. And so this question is meant for you to confront that, not just you talk about it, but instead something that pushes you to act and actually forgive and set yourself free. Anyway, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for every single one of you that watch and listen to our podcast. A special shout out to our Patreon supporters. Thank you for supporting us and helping us keep this podcast going. And an even bigger shout out to our off the record Patreon supporters. We would like to honor you by sharing and showing your names on the screen right about now. We hope you have an amazing week ahead, and we'll see you in the next episode of Honest Conversations.